New Beginning Credit Repair.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the class. My name is Michael Adams and I'll be your host. The name of this class is How to Drastically Improve Your Credit Score Without Wasting Money on Expensive Credit Repair Services, even if you have no clue where to start. Make sure that if you're on a laptop or a mobile device that you shut down other applications and give this class your undivided attention and internet bandwidth. Specifically, I'm going to show you what I did to improve my score from 504 to 800 plus. Actually, I had two perfect credit scores now, and I've helped thousands of others improve their credit scores as well. This has allowed people just like you to go on to buy cars, homes, start businesses, and take back control of their financial situation. My goal for this webinar is to teach you the fastest way to improve your credit without paying for expensive credit repair services and to empower you to take action on improving your financial situation. I'm excited because I taught this class a lot, and each time it's just amazing to see people get that aha moment and taking steps to change their life for the better. Now, to really break this down a little bit more, I will show you how to build your credit score quickly and permanently, even if you had bad, low, or no credit. I will show you my 7-step process for removing negative items from your credit. I'm talking late payments, collections, charge-offs, and public records. The nasty stuff from your past that's holding you back. So you can leverage your improved mindset, financial knowledge, and credit to obtain homes, cars, and rental properties without getting denied. I'm going to show you how to do this even if you don't know where to start. You don't need to be a financial expert for this to work. You're going to learn 3 secrets to reaching your credit goals today. Secret number 1, how to remove negative items from your credit report. Secret number 2 is how to improve your credit without being a credit expert. And secret number 3, how to improve your credit when you are short on time. Okay, so we know what this class is about, but who is this for? If you are a do-it-yourself type person and you want to understand how credit works so you can drastically improve your credit score on your own, this class is for you. This class is for you if you want to stop renting and own a home or rental property. This class is for you if you want to obtain assets instead of liabilities. This class is for you if you want to build wealth, save more, and become financially free. If you're a person who wants more than what they're getting now and you're tired of not getting the what you deserve, if that sounds like you, you're in the right place. Sometimes you're just tired of paying someone else's mortgage and wasting your money on rent. For example, we have on the left, we have Derek, who was able to improve his credit score by nearly 200 points in 4 months by following my system. And with the assistance of his wife, buy their dream home. And we have Gary on the right, who was able to finally get a home so his daughter could put all the Disney stuff on the walls and paint it just how she wanted. These are people who are just like you, who wanted real results and took action. Now, if you stay to the end of this class, I will sweeten the pot and provide you a gift. I want to help you on your credit journey. I'll send this to you if you make it to the end of the class and participate in the Q&A session. If you failed at improving your credit on your own in the past, it's not your fault. If you've been concerned in the past that you can't succeed without improving your credit on your own, put those fears to rest. Credit repair companies want you to think that you can't improve your credit score quickly and permanently without them. But it's not true. If you've ever thought that banks, the school system, credit repair companies, debt collectors, and sometimes even your own friends want you to fail, you're probably right. With that being said, it's 100% on you to make this work, and I'm going to show you exactly how to get that done in this webinar, despite what happened in the past. So you might be wondering, but who is Michael Adams, and why should I listen to you out of all the credit gurus and experts? What makes you so special? And that's really a great question. A lot of you know me, but a lot of you don't know me. So I need to give you a little bit of background so you know who you're dealing with and why I'm so confident in what I will be teaching you today. My name is Michael Adams. I have one of the best credit scores in the country. I'm actually in the top 5%. I'm the owner of the brand new beginning credit repair. I've mentored a lot of people you know and love in the credit repair industry. However, that's where I am now. But I wasn't always a perfect credit score. Crazy about finances and all about generational wealth. I actually didn't know anything at first. I stumbled upon the best way to improve my credit from after a lot of trial and error. Went from poor to just poor, broke to just broke. You know, it's always funny when you start going broke and now you start to think, man, who owes me money? You start to remember that old friend of yours that still owes you $20 for gas 3 years ago. I remember having to go to see a financial planner because my wife couldn't figure out why we don't have any money. Did you know that money problem is the number one reason for divorce? Look how the sister's looking at him. This is how I felt being in that lady's office, having to explain to my wife that there was no money coming in. I remember the final straw. When I woke up to this text message, I just broke down. Like I'm talking about snot down the nose, crying because in my mind, and according to my bank account, I was failing my wife and kids. I took a screenshot of this because I knew God was going to help me out of this hole I've dug myself into. Like so many of you, I had a choice. Either pay my bills on time or feed my family right now. So guess which one I chose? 5 major credit cards sent to collections. Car gets repoed. Still negative in the bank. And now my credit score went from a 700 to a 510. It was literally happening all at one time. So I'm going to be real with you. I once heard someone say, God gives you the strength that you will need to endure any situation, no matter how bad it looks. So what are you going to do? I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked myself in the mirror. Sometimes you have to go and have a tough conversation with yourself. I will ask you, are you going to give up, or are you going to dig deep within yourself and put the work in to fix this? I started with pulling my credit scores and saw 3 scores. Wait, why do I see 3 different scores? What's my actual score? Just as confused as some of you, I will simplify it. You have 3 different scores from 3 different credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. The reason the scores may be difficult is because the credit bureau may not have record of the same account, meaning a credit card company may only report to Experian but not the other 2. Or a collection may only be reporting with Equifax and TransUnion but not Experian. So they will report different scores. So what is my current credit score? Your credit score is the middle number between the lowest and the highest of the 3 credit scores. My score here is 510. You know something else, even if you get your credit scores directly from the credit bureaus, it's not the actual score. Crazy, right? That's why it's more important to know what's on your credit report versus the actual score. Have you ever wanted to fix a situation, but you just couldn't? I can tell you this, it's a horrible feeling. I don't have the knowledge. I didn't have the money. I didn't know much about how this credit game worked, so I started studying. In the meantime, to make some money, I drove for Lyft. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there. Loved it. It was convenient, and we lived in the Los Angeles area, so it was super easy to find rides through LA. And it allowed me to dedicate majority of my time to getting my life together. I kid you not. I would go to the library and pick up every book I could about finances. I'm talking credit, investing, budgeting, life insurance. I read a ton of books, articles, YouTube, Facebook groups, Google. I did it all. I devoured everything I could read because one, I needed to help in some way, and number two, I wanted to ensure that this never happened to anyone in my immediate family again. For the first time in my life, I went looking for the answers to questions I didn't know I should have. I studied for a minimum of 2 to 4 hours a day. I'm not going to lie, doing all those things got me tremendous progress, but it took me a lot of time, nearly a year, and a lot of that information was confusing or flat out wrong. Have you ever been in a Facebook group and read something and said, "What the heck are you talking about?" Yeah, I was doing that a lot. This situation made me take a serious look at my financial portfolio. When I looked at my financial house, I had 5 credit cards, all in collections, totaling over 20K in debt. I was renting an overpriced two-bedroom apartment. I say overpriced because it costs more to rent than own in my area. A Mustang that I had to get out of repossession by begging the banks and getting a cosigner. And a terrible credit score of 510. I wasn't motivated to be strong financially until my back was against the wall and it was either crumble with everything around me or take it upon myself to fix it. Then I got pissed because I realized that in high school and college, the basic financial principles were not taught. I guess you don't know what you don't know. However, studying 4 hours a day for a year, I was able to find out what worked and what didn't work. I created a 5-step credit repair system to get my fix, my credit score that could be easily reported by anyone who followed these 5 steps. And I want to show you how you can use these same crazy methods to get crazy. You're probably thinking, why am I telling you this? Because I want you to know that I started with nothing. No strong male role model, no mentors, no rich uncles, no one to talk about money with at the dinner table. My friends were poor too, so nothing. This means I learned everything that got us to the life we have today and beyond by books, seeking out people who had the life I wanted and the knowledge I needed. Failing a lot and wasting a lot of money and time. The good news is you won't have to go through what I had to go through to get results. It's all about executing on what you're learning. If I can do it, you can, if you're willing to put in the work. Some of you are in this class with excuses of I'm not good with money. Nobody ever taught me. We didn't talk about money. I tried repairing my credit in the past and it didn't work. I don't know where to start. What if I make a mistake? I used to feel that way too, and I understand where you're coming from. But that ends today. You've been through harder things in life than learning to improve your credit to reach your goal. When I say this works, it works. For example, you have Javon, whose score went up 63 points in 30 days by losing excuses and taking action. Then you have Catherine, whose score went up 37 points in 30 days by losing excuses and taking action. Then we can't forget Deja, who started at 172 points in less than 60 days by losing excuses and taking action. After years of study and figuring it out for myself, then turning my knowledge into a credit repair company, then showing people how to do it on their own, and now my group of students and I have refined this process to make it so easy and a step-by-step process. Right now, I'm going to teach you. So, what are we going to cover is 3 secrets. Secret 1 is how to remove negative items from your credit report. Secret 2 is how to improve your credit without being a credit expert. And last but not least, secret 3 is how to improve your credit when you are short on time. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. The very first secret that I'm going to teach you is how to remove negative items from your credit report. It's a very specific process that you need to follow and is one part of credit improvement and cleaning up your past. I'm going to show you exactly what a credit repair company will charge you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to do. The idea of disputing negative items and getting them removed from your credit report is hard and confusing. It's just crazy. You'll hear 7 different marketing gimmicks from credit repair companies on how their disputing practices are the best. You'll hear terms like attorney-based disputing, credit sweep, etc., etc. They really are following a 7-step process for each and every client. How do I know this? All successful companies run off of processes and procedures. They have to have repeatable process so they can train new hires to their way of doing things. You just need to know the process so you can mimic it for yourself to get the results that you want and need. So let's take a look at the disputing process to get negative items off your credit report. Here's the process in a nutshell. Step 1, you have to pull your credit report and do a proper audit. Go line by line to see if anything seems out of whack. Then you want to highlight those errors, negative items, and categorize them by type or account. Then you want to dispute in writing based on the type of account, and then follow up every 30 days with stronger language. Why? The information on the credit report is what makes up the score. Content is king. I'll repeat that. Your credit report content is king. However, the credit report is created by the data within each credit bureau. So if we ensure the credit bureaus only have accurate and positive data, aka accurate and positive content, we guarantee an excellent credit score, regardless of where you obtain your credit scores. Write this down. Content is king. Also, you have a different credit score depending on what you're applying for. Yep, if you're applying for a credit card, your credit score will be different than if you're applying for a mortgage or auto loan. Why? Well, each lender is judging you slightly differently based on what I'm going to show you in secret number 2, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. There are many types of accounts and dispute flows, but let's start with the most common one that generally found on 70% of credit reports, a collection. Let me give you an example how to properly dispute a collection on your credit report. The biggest mistake I see when people start disputing is that they only dispute with the credit bureaus and they do it online. Never, ever, ever dispute online. When you do that, you waive your right to sue, and we need to retain our right to sue for later rounds. The second issue I see is that people do not dispute with the actual debt collector or original creditor. Frankly, the average person just doesn't know to do this part, but many credit repair companies skip this part also. Why do credit repair companies skip this part? Because they process everyone the same. Remember, it's a business, and disputing with the debt collector and original credit adds complexity and it's more expensive. But you need to get this done so you can get results. So you see a bunch of icons on the screen. Let's make this make sense. This is how a typical first round for collections will go. You will first do an audit of your credit report, identifying the negative items that you want removed and highlight it and categorize it for your account. Since it's a collection, you know that you have to send items to the collection agency and the credit bureaus. Here's the thing, and many people do not know this. Most debt collectors just buy a bunch of debt off a spreadsheet and have no legal right to even collect on the debt. It's a numbers game for them. If they buy 100 non-collectible debts for 70% off and they get just a few people to pay in full or get into payment plans, they would have made their money back real quick. They are banking on your ignorance, so we have to make them abide by the law. We will send a certified letter to them with language forcing them to validate the debt and wait 5 days or until we get notification they received it. What this does is force them to stop calling us, deal with you only in writing, which is important if you have to sue them, and freezes their ability to respond to the credit bureaus until they respond to you first. You then are going to immediately send a request to the credit bureaus asking them about the collection. The credit bureaus by law must have accurate information on your profile, and 70% of the time they don't. You are asking them to provide information about the data on your credit report, and they will take about 30 days to respond to you in writing. They have that amount of time per the law. Now, the boxing match begins. You also have to have patience. Despite what you have heard or some companies has told you, you cannot force the credit bureaus to respond faster. They have, by law, in certain instances, to take 30 business days to respond. Now, there are only 3 types of responses you will get after you send the letters. This goes for the debt collector and the credit bureaus. Number 1, delete it. Number 2, no response. Number 3, proof provided that it should be there. Delete it means that you got what you wanted and the record is removed from your credit profile. No response means the debt collector or credit bureau didn't abide by the law and violated your rights, so you can demand a removal from your credit reports. Proof provides means the debt collectors and credit bureaus provided proof that the item should be on your credit report. Going back to our dispute flow, let's talk about what you should do in the instance that, number 2, that no response from the debt collector. This means the debt collector didn't respond to you in 30 days. You will know because you have certified proof. No response means the debt collector by law must cease collection efforts and remove negative items placed by them on your credit report. We just need to send them another certified letter reminding them they failed to meet requirements. We need the proof because we are going to follow up with the credit bureaus too. This time we do not have to wait for their response. They messed up and we have the proof. When then, in turn, send that proof to the credit bureaus to expedite the removal and give them 30 days to respond. If the credit bureaus don't respond timely, we remind them of their error and demand removal as well. We want this certified because we would want proof they have received it. If the debt collector and credit bureaus fail to do what we want them to do, we will address them with the FTC, lawyers, and the CFPB. However, 80% of instances won't get this far. Let's talk about what you should do in instance that number 3, you receive proof from the debt collector and credit bureau or just one. So, the debt collector comes back with a list of documents or proof. We need to make sure they actually provided proof and not just a receipt or proof they bought the debt. Debt collectors are known to create fake documents. You need to inspect everything to make sure it's legit. You can send another response to the debt collector with your questions about their claims or just hold on to what they provided. Here's the thing. 90% of debt collectors don't reply properly because they are not built to comply with laws. With the credit bureaus, you want to question their process if they are actually following one. Credit bureaus receive millions upon millions of requests a day. They are supposed to follow a process for verifying and validating that everything is accurate on your credit report. However, oftentimes they don't and just send a canned response and never do the investigation because they use automated methods. Your follow-up letter isn't asking them to look into this matter, but you're questioning their process and asking for evidence that they actually did the review to prove this should be there, according to the law. If the credit bureaus don't provide a valid response, we can move to addressing them via the FTC lawyer and the CFPB. However, 80% of instances won't get this far. I kid you not, that's the process for a collection in a nutshell. That's what every credit repair company does for you after they audit your credit report. This is what debt collectors don't want you to know. This is what banks want to keep away from you. If you know the process, what letter to send, how to send the letters, and have a little bit of patience, you can do this. There is a process or procedure for each type of negative account. Literally, anything negative on your report, there is a process and procedure that you can follow. Let me give you an example of a student, Robin, in the New Beginning credit program, who saved $1,000 in just 45 days by following my process. She says, basically everything that's taught in this program actually worked if you take the fear out and just move with it. She went from 22 negative accounts down to 6 and is on her way to purchasing a home. She goes on to say, there's a letter for pretty much everything right in the academy. Will disputing make my credit worse? Can't I just pay it all off or settle the debt to improve my credit? Or can't I just dispute online? And last but not least, can I really remove anything from my credit report? The answer to the first 3 questions are no, no, and no. And the last one is yes. You see, it's already on your credit report, so asking for proof can't hurt you. Unfortunately, paying a collection doesn't remove it from your credit, and disputing online violates your right and limits your effectiveness. Here's the truth. You can remove almost anything from your credit report if you follow the right disputing process. I'm talking collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, repo and student loans, collections, tax liens, and yes, child support. If there is a violation of your rights under the FCRA, then it can be removed from your credit. For example, by trusting the process and following it, Latanya, who after sitting out round 2 said she had one of her 2 collections deleted for an instant boost of 10 points on her score. Once she combines what I'm going to teach you in secret number 2, that score is going to really go. Remember, When you lose your excuses and follow a proven system, you'll find results. Let's get into how to improve your credit without being a credit expert. Honestly, you don't have to be a genius to have better finances, just like you don't have to be a world-class athlete to have better health. Many people think, "Oh, I'm not going I'm not good with money and have no clue about credit. So good credit isn't in my future." I used to feel the exact same way until I did this little trick and it made all the difference in my credit, finances, and happiness. I focused not on my credit, but what I wanted to obtain from improving my credit. I didn't say, "Oh man, I need to get my credit up." I said, "I'm tired of renting and paying this landlord and I want to buy a home." By the end of this year, just being laser focused alone put me on the right path to reach that goal. Then I just worked backwards to reach my goal. Let me ask you this. What is your motivation for improving your credit? Do you want to buy a home? Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to show the people around you how to be responsible, to save more money on everyday things, to build wealth and leave a legacy? Do you want a better life for your kids and family? As you're going through this journey, you need something to think about when stuff gets real and you want to give up. I had to learn this so I can stop wasting money on rent, own my own home, and eventually start a business so I can travel and spend as much time as I want and need with my family. I want you to take a few seconds to think about it. I want you to finish the sentence. I want to improve my credit so that I can. The crazy thing is this. By having specific end goals, you'll be more than willing to put in the work to achieve that goal. By having a specific end goals, you are going to be able to measure your progress in reaching those goals, which will motivate you to work even harder during the process. By having a specific ending goals, you not only will end up accomplishing everything you set out to do, but I am willing to bet that you will accomplish your goals earlier than you originally planned. It all starts with a vision, being smart and crafting a game plan to make that vision a reality, then working the game plan to attain your vision. I'm willing to bet that you went through harder things in life than improving your credit. This is easy if you're willing to put in the work to make it happen. With your why written down and your focus on the goal, let's talk about what's needed to make your goal and credit improvement happen. You don't need to be a credit expert if you have a specific goal and understand what makes the credit algorithm work. Let me ask you a question. What do you think of when you hear the word credit? Just think about that for a minute. When I hear the word credit, I think of words like leverage, trust, opportunity, and things like access and options. When I hear the word credit, I hear positive things. I used to associate credit with negative things, but that was before I was educated in its ability to aid and assist me with my goals or simply save me money. However, in the simplest term, credit is simply your privilege to borrow money and repay it at a future date. You may decide to repay the money in full or over time, also known as installments, but credit may or may not involve paying interest. Let me give you an example of credit. Let's say you accidentally left your wallet at home and borrowed $10 from a coworker so you cannot pass out from not eating all day. Naturally, you promise to pay him back the next day. Guess what? You just use credit. You use your name and your stellar track record of returning the stapler to borrow $10 for food. Your amazing stapler return track record was what allowed you to borrow $10 in your time of crisis. Now, this is an oversimplified example of what credit is, but you use credit every day. When you ask someone to do you a favor, my wife hits me with that line, babe, can you do me a favor? At least 2 times a week. That's her using credit. The fact is, we all need credit, and our credit impacts us even if we aren't planning to use it. Anytime soon, you want insurance, your credit will be checked. You want a job, your credit will be checked. You want a home, your credit will be checked. So, we know what credit is and why we need it. Let's talk about the credit report for a second. Your credit score is 3 digits number, which represent how good you are at returning lunch money, aka paying back and managing loans. Officially, it's a statistical metric to determine your likelihood of default within a 90-day period. To put it in another way, your credit is a byproduct of your financial behavior. The good news is you have way more control over your credit score than you think. As a matter of fact, like 4 out of 5 things we are going to talk for secret number 2, you have the ability to control and immediately improve your credit. Okay, let's get into what you need to improve your credit score. Since we have an understanding of what we want, what credit is, why the scores differ from bureau to bureau, let's talk about what's needed to improve your score. This is what I did with myself, my mom, and taught to thousands of others. Once you know the rules of the game, you can win the game. Generally, credit scores have a range from 300 to 850, and you have the ability to gain 550 points. Now, to remember this, put on your hand, I want you to say 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. This is the number sequence I memorized for dominating my credit. As a matter of fact, write this down. 35, 30, 15, 10, and 10. 35% of your score is paying on time. 30% of your score is total utilization or amounts owed. 15% of your score is how long you had credit. 10% of your score is types of credit or credit mix. 10% of your score is new credit or errors. Let's break that down even more. If you have the ability to gain or lose 555 points, 192.50 points of your score is paying on time. 165 points of your score is total utilization or amounts owed. 82.50 points of your score is how long you've had your credit. 55 points of your score is types of credit. 55 points of your score is new credit or inquiries. When you break it down from percentages to points, you can easily see it's not rocket science. This is math, not magic. So we have our why, we know what credit is, what credit bureaus are, and why our score is always different. We even know the 5 parts that go into calculating a credit score. We now need to zero in on those 5 parts to see what we can do to improve your credit score even more. This is what I did with my mom and myself once I figured out the rules. The first thing we talked about gave us a reason for playing the game and the rules of the game. Now let me show you how to dominate the game. Let's recap the 5 things that go into calculating your score. 35, 30, 15, 10, and 10. And let's break it down into what you can do to get all those points in the 2 most important brackets, the 35% and the 30% bracket. 35%, or let's say 192.50 points of your score is simply paying your bills on time. What is meant by paying your bills on time is paying the minimum payment you have to pay the bill by the bill due date. So if you have a car note of $350 that's due on the 24th, this means that by the 24th you need to pay $350. You do not get extra points by paying early. You do not get extra points by paying multiple times in a month. The easiest way to ensure that you always pay your bills on time is by setting up automatic payments and a budget. By doing this, you will ensure that you always pay your bills on time and thus get all your 192.50 points on your credit. If I was you, I would call up all my credit card companies and people I owe money to and set up automatic payments, where they take the money out the account or using your bank's bill pay service set up an automatic payment, where you send them the money. By doing this, you'll be covered on paying your bills. When I did this for myself, I had over 30 people to call. When I did it for my mom, we had nearly 25 people to call. You know what happened? When we started looking at those bills, we realized, oh snap, there's a lot of stuff we don't need. So by simply doing this exercise, I'm willing to bet you can save some money. Do you have a list of all your monthly bills? Do you have automatic payment or do you manually make the payments? I would highly suggest that you automate your minimum payments to your installment and revolving credit accounts. This will guarantee you get all 35% for paying on time because you won't miss any payment. Let's talk about 30% of your score, or 165 points, which is something called amounts owed or total utilization. The credit algorithm adds up all your limits and divides by what you're using to get this number. However, there's one thing that a lot of people do not know. One, utilization or amounts owed only matters for revolving credit. Two, you have something called total utilization, but individual utilization matters as well. Do you know what revolving credit is? As a matter of fact, did you know that you have only two types of credit? One is revolving and the other is installment. Here is the definition of revolving credit. Revolving credit is a debt owed on an account that you can repeatedly use and pay back without having to reapply every time credit is issued. Credit cards are the most common types of revolving accounts and are weighed the heaviest. Here is the definition of installment credit. Installment credit is a debt that is paid at a regular time over a specified period. Example of installment debt includes mortgages, auto loans, personal loans, credit building loans, and student loans. Putting your rent on your credit report. A big mistake people make is assuming that paying off installment credit or obtaining installment credit will improve your credit score. I know a lot of people with major influence getting this wrong on a daily basis. Let me make this very clear for you. If your goal is to improve your credit, paying off your car loan, student loan, mortgage, a personal loan, getting self-lender, getting your rent payments put on your account, getting credit building loan, getting a car loan, getting a mortgage will not help your credit score. Your score will actually go down before it goes up. Your focus should be on manipulating revolving credit by paying it down or obtaining more. Why? Because installment loans only care about you paying on time, whereas revolving credit cares about paying on time and how you use it, thus giving you more points because you impact the 35% and 30% bracket at the same time. When my mom and I were talking about improving her credit, the first thing we did was write down all her credit card limits and compare them to her balance. She didn't have a problem paying her bills on time. She had a problem with her utilization percentage. She was at 79% credit card utilization, which is a big no-no. Even though she was paying on time, she was seen as a risk. You have three options to lower your utilization. Option 1, pay down the debt. Option 2 is to get bigger limits on existing cards and new cards with bigger limits to lower utilization. And option 3, do both. For my mom and myself, we opted to do both, and our scores started going up like crazy. The easiest way to do both is to identify guaranteed approval credit cards with big limits as well as have a written game plan via a budget to focus on paying down debt and getting large limits at the same time. This class is about credit, so we won't get into how to create perfect budget. However, it's a huge component of your credit success since it makes managing your money easier, and as you know, your credit is a byproduct of how you manage money. I'm afraid to make a mistake or make my situation worse, or I don't know where to start, or I was never taught about money, or I don't have the discipline. Here's the thing, everyone's afraid. Nobody knows where to start. We weren't born taught about money, and discipline is something you work at. The truth is, when you determine what you want, you will be motivated to execute. With motivation, all you would need is the right steps to follow to reach your goal. You don't have to be an expert, you simply have to have enough motivation or desire to be willing to change your circumstances. You do not need to be an expert to start. For example, here's an example of a student taking action. She's not an expert, but like me, she wanted to have a better life. She was able to close on her house in 4 months of being a student of ours. What would your life look like if you were able to close on your dream home with a low income? Remember, when you lose your excuses and follow a proven system, you will find results. You do not need to be an expert. You need to have a clear vision of what and a system to get you there. What moves us to secret 3, which is how to improve your credit when you're short on time. If I had a nickel for every time I heard someone say, I don't have enough time to improve my credit, I would be extremely wealthy. The main reason why you would think you do not have enough time to improve your credit is because you really don't know where to start. This is where I was when I was trying to figure it all out, and I had to bounce from Facebook group to Facebook group and YouTube channel to YouTube channel. This is what it can feel like when you don't have step-by-step guidance to reach your goal. It will feel like you're going in circles and simply wasting your time. Using just some of what I taught you in the class, you can start improving your credit immediately. However, you can actually improve your credit to reach your goal with just 10 minutes a day. You can do this in the morning before work, on your lunch break, or as soon as you get off work. I'm sure you can find 10 minutes a day to reach your goal. I want to highlight Derek. Again, he spent 10 minutes in the morning going through the new beginning DIY program lesson and was able to improve his credit from 520 to 700 plus on his own and buy a home for his wife. Then you have Robert, who was able to spend 10 minutes during his lunch break following the new beginning lessons and improved his credit by 60 points in 1 month by following disputing procedures to get his late payments correct. You can do this in the morning, evening, or night. The real question is, do you have 10 minutes a day that you can commit to reach your goals? We're all busy, but to act like you don't have 10 minutes for something so important is crazy. It's just 10 minutes. So let's go ahead and recap. Here's what I've shown you today. Secret number 1, how to remove negative items from your credit report. Secret 2, how to improve your credit without being a credit expert. Secret 3, how to improve your credit when you are short on time. So at this point, you have 2 options. Okay. Number 1 is you can take the information that I share with you today and you can try to do it yourself without any help and just go at it on your own. Or number two, you can get it right the first time by learning from someone that has done it successfully over and over from self and thousands of people, and you can get 24/7 help from the thousands of people I've helped that have done it successfully. So if you choose number two, and let me know. So obviously, if you choose number two, that's a smart decision. And here's all the success screenshots I showed you today, along with these people right here, as I said. They all have one thing in common. They have all purchased a premium product from me, and that premium product is my online training and mastermind community. And that is why I'm so happy to introduce it to you today. I would like to introduce to you the new Beginning Credit Repair DIY program. This one program alone has changed so many lives, and we are constantly updating it with new information. You see, the methods that I have shown you today, they only scratch the surface, not even a dent. It's enough to get you started, it's enough to get you out there, it's enough to get you motivated. But if you really want to get massive results and the support you need to do it right, then the Road to Perfect Credit course is for you. New beginning members get access to our Road to Perfect Credit. This is a do-it-yourself course that's all about helping you improve your credit score quickly and permanently so you can leverage your improved credit to obtain homes, cars, and rental properties. Its only purpose is to empower you and teach you everything you need to know about credit so that you can see results quickly and reach your credit related goal. We have students seeing results in less than 45 days with the information in the course. The people you've seen throughout this presentation have taken the course and used the course. You'll also get a world-class credit education. It's not enough to simply tell you what letter to send, how to respond, and how to build credit. I will teach you the whys behind it all, so you can go on to teach your loved ones. You will be a credit expert and 100% credit self-sufficient. You will know how to understand, improve, and protect your credit as if you're a credit expert. In order to learn how to properly dispute your negative accounts, we will start you from the beginning. Preparing your credit in phases is the only way to properly dispute and repair your credit. Over 60% of the letters the credit bureaus receive get thrown in the trash simply because you are contacting the credit bureau using the wrong avenue. We show you how to make sure they receive your letter. What if you had a step-by-step complaint flow that holds your hand and tells you when to send your next dispute letter and what letter you should use? Yes, if you said that would be awesome because my only way I could mess it up is if I don't follow directions, then you would be 100% correct. Our program literally shows you what to do and when to do it. Maybe your dealings with collections, charge-off, inquiries, bankruptcies, repossession, student loans, etc. We show you how to get every negative account you may have removed with a strong strategy. Maybe you're dealing with inquiries. Well, what if we were able to show you a step-by-step process to easily removing inquiries from your credit report? Value $199. Oh yeah, it gets better. Imagine having access to a vault full of hundreds of letters that you can pick through that can help you handle dang near every situation you could run into while repairing your credit. We have letters that counter the credit bureau's responses to you over and over. Value of $397. You might be thinking, wow, the course sounds awesome, but I can't get started because I do not have the money to take this awesome course, or I do not have the knowledge to improve my credit. Here's the good news. You can get our proven step-by-step system to reach your credit goals for less than $1 a day. You can improve your credit for a fraction of what your cell phone costs. You can improve your credit for less than two number ones at your favorite fast food restaurant. Do you mind if I over deliver? Because I could have stopped right there and that would be worth it. However, I'm not done. So you will know how to improve your credit without wasting money on expensive credit repair services. You will know how to budget to reach your goals, pay off your debt faster, and save more. What else could I possibly give you to make this better? All for less than $1 a day. You all have lifetime access to our New Beginning Credit Repair Program community, a growing community of people just like you doing the same thing you're doing, a value of $4,997. Well, as a bonus, we'll add bankruptcy removal, which is a value of $497. The New Beginning repossession removal, valued at $497. New Beginning check verifications, those of you who are on check systems, value is $497. And also, for the time that the bureaus or the creditor do not respond, a bonus of a letters of intent to sue, which is a $997 value. All these programs together combined value equals $37,358. But you can learn how to repair your credit for only $25 today. This will save you a ton of time and money because you don't have to figure out the credit laws. You don't have to figure out legal languages. You don't have to figure out what letters to send for your unique situations. You don't have to figure out the best credit monitoring. You don't have to figure out the best way to build credit and improve your credit. You might be thinking, I'm not good with technology. That's not a problem because Second Chance, you can include videos and transcriptions of everything. If you can work a smartphone or a computer, you can use these tools. If you're on this class, then you can use Second Chance you with no problem. 85% of your credit score is how you manage money. The number one tool that will take you on track with managing your money is a budget. The problem is many people want to budget, they just don't know where to start. Well, I'm removing that problem for you with this course. I break down step by step everything you need to create a budget to reach your goals without requiring you to give up everything you love, meaning you can still have fun. When I first started out, I had to figure this all on my own. I didn't have anyone to give me a proven game plan. It took me years of trials and errors and thousands of dollars to figure this out. But you won't have to because I'm giving them all to you. AJ uses the Road to Perfect Credit course, Credit Success Tools, and the Perfect Budget course to surprise his wife with their dream home. They said it was supposed to be a surprise, and unfortunately, things happened. So she found out. Still, to this day, his goal is to impress his girl and to provide everything her heart desires. His wife wanted a home, and he decided to invest in himself and get it done. Then you have Paige, who says, I want to share with everyone. Before starting this program, I never thought I could save what I have saved now. I have to congratulate myself on this, but I'm doing it. My goal is to work on my credit and took the first step in knowing what needs to be done to get the negatives removed. So when I check my score, I get excited just to see 3 accounts removed from my credit. That's a lot compared to what I was not doing to improve it. All thanks, Mr. Adams, for taking the time to care. Lastly, you have Jessica, who says, the budgeting form is so lit, it really helped me get a hold of my finances. I'm telling you, just having the how to fix your credit course, credit success tools, and budget will be worth it. Let's not forget Pamela, who says, where do I start? Since I created my budget, it has allowed me to take a good look at where my money was going. I have since paid 3 credit cards off, 2 loans paid in full, and found some money by cutting down going out to eat and putting it in my savings. I'm telling you, this information is life changing. However, one of the biggest results from the budget course was the results Juliana received. Imagine learning how to budget my way and finding $1,100 that you lost track of. She can now use that money for her business and investing. I even did some quick math for her to show her how much it can grow. If she takes that money and using what I teach in my investing course, she can turn her 1100 into nearly 500K. Do you mind if I over deliver? Because I could have stopped right there and that would be worth it. However, I'm not done. So you will know how to improve your credit without wasting money on expensive credit repair services. You will know how to budget to reach your goals, pay off debt faster, and save more. What else could I possibly give you to make this better? All for $1 a day. How does everything you need to dominate your financial goals sounds? In addition to how to fix your credit course, credit success tools, and the how to create the perfect budget course, I'm going to teach you how to invest in the stock market. I'm going to teach you how to buy a home in the smart way. I'm going to teach you how to buy a car the smart way. I'm going to show you how to get a pay raise. I'm going to show you step by step how to start a business and build business credit. I'm going to show you how to turn your purpose into profit. I'm even going to show you how to dominate Instagram, all for less than $1 a day. It's so much value for so little cost. This is what my student's wife shouting us out, saying her husband's credit score went up 100 points in only 2 months. You're probably wondering, why are you doing all this for less than $1 a day? At first thought, yeah, it's kind of crazy to offer so much for so little. You see, I've been doing this for over 10 years, and after working with mentors, then teaching my mom, then thousands of clients and students, I started writing down everything that worked and creating courses that thoroughly explain everything that I do for clients, myself, and my mom. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I wrote everything down because I wanted to have a repeatable results for myself and clients. As you see from this class, it's all about having a system in place that makes your life easier. I also wrote everything down because I knew it worked. Do you know what happened? Because of our system for budgeting, improving our credit, and investing, our lifestyles drastically improved. Because our financial systems, we are able to have the life of our dreams. I went from a single parent household without a father figure to being the head of a household and very active in my daughter's life. Then one day, while on vacation, my daughter shocked me. We were having fun on the beach and she asked me flat out, Dad, how many people have you helped this year? I probably say a few hundred people, thinking that was a lot. She then said, is that your best? Because you always tell me to try my best. I was quiet for a moment and I replied, I can do better. So I made it my mission to help 10,000 people reach their financial goals, and I vowed to do it without costing them a fortune. If all that I'm offering is enough, I still thought of more things I could add to make this an absolute no brainer. Now let's talk about the most important component. Most people start things with great intentions, but as soon as they hit one single bump, they give up. Why? Well, to be brutally honest, because of their environment, their friends and their family cannot understand what they're trying to do. They doubt them and they are usually not supportive. You see, success thrives in an environment of support and withers and dies in an environment without. I know what this feels like because I spent years in a group of family and friends that were all underachievers and kept me down. Once I started hanging out around successful people, I became. You need to be in an environment of people that speak the same language and have the same mission as you. You need to be around people that lift you up and encourage you, not put you down. That's exactly why I created the Wealth Builder New Beginning community. We have over 2,000 students working and achieving their financial goals, and they are more than willing to help you succeed as well. The New Beginning Credit Repair Mastermind community, you can ask here questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get help. You can grab an accountability partner and get emotional support when you feel frustrated. There are people all over the world in these groups, so there's always somebody online ready to help you. And you can get emotional support when you feel frustrated. Check out what Robin said about this group. She said, listen, of all the group I'm in, I love this group and the interactions with one another. It's like we are family in here. No str- if all that I'm offering is enough, I wanted to add a cherry. The New Beginning Credit Family The New Beginning Credit Repair family also has live office hours. Yep, in addition to our 24/7 support, our instructors will also host a one-on-one calls to answer your most pressing questions twice a month. Here is some of the feedback we're getting from providing the value-packed office hours. Sylvia says, I'm loving the Academy office hours. Rashonda says, I'm glad you record the events, so I appreciate the fact that I can watch it on my own time. Tamara says, tonight was so good, and then my phone said too hot. I'm going to be glued tomorrow listening in. Now, I had three choices when I decided what to price this at today. I can make it affordable so everybody could gain access but have poor quality. I could charge a lot of money, provide a ton of value, but only service a few people. Or I could step up to the challenge of my daughter and set out for me and make this affordable, provide a ton of value, and give you exactly what you need to reach your goals and so much more. I chose option. Since you're in this class, it means you're serious about getting results. So I'm going to give you everything you need to win financially this year, a total value of $7,361 for less than $1 a day. On your screen, you should see a link to sign up now. Click the link we have put in the screen. Now, if you like to enroll, you can simply click the bottom of the right side of your screen to enroll. It will look like this, and again, it will take you right to the enrollment page. Now, think about this for a second. If all that was shown to you how to improve your credit by 100 points, would it be worth it? If all I did was help you pay off your car early, buy a home, start a business, would it be worth it? If all this did was put you in a position to be financially free so you can control your own destiny, would it be worth it? If all this did will save you thousands of dollars on interest a year because of your improved credit and financial skills, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you 24-hour access to thousands of people with the same mindset as you and want to see you achieve your financial goals, would it be worth it? I think it'll be worth it. Now, the truth is, I'm nothing special. You know my story. I didn't grow up with money. I didn't know how to manage money. I knew nothing about money. It wasn't until someone I loved needed my help and I couldn't help. And I had to make a choice because life is about choices. When mother came to me and broke down her financial situation, I had two choices. And you have two choices as well. When I realized how bad my financial situation was, I had another choice to make. Your first choice, just like my choice, was do nothing and remain the same. Like I know that doing nothing is risky and costly. Why is doing nothing risky? Well, if you're not improving, how much will that cost you? How much are you wasting on rent? How much is your family losing out on by you not taking control of your finances? Doing nothing and remaining the same costs you a lot of money. However, doing nothing can cost you more than just money. It can cost you your dreams, it can cost you your happiness, it can cost you your legacy, it can cost you your freedom. Because the bottom line is you can build something great. I've already helped hundreds and hundreds of people build something great while reaching their financial goals, but you need help, and I'm here, and my community is here to help you win. So, to recap, you're not only getting what you need to improve your credit, but you're getting all you need to dominate all of your financial goals for less than $1 a day. Click the button to the right of the screen or the link in the chart. You get started now. What I'd also like to do is my assistant grab some questions from the group and some ones that got put on the survey prior to the class. I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. I promise I would do a Q&A, so if you don't get your question answered, simply know that it's just because we have a bunch of people and I can only answer so many, but we will get back to you. The New Beginning DIY program is a do-it-yourself program. I give you all the you need to win financially, no matter your education level, for a cost that you can afford. How can I repair my credit with limited income? You do not need a lot of money to improve your credit. The process is the same if you make $1 million a year or you get an SSI check. What you need is a proven system so you don't waste money or time. If your income is limited, you want get the best program and community possible so you do not do it right the first time. This is what I'm offering you today with the New Beginning DIY program. How long does it usually take to improve your credit 100 points? It varies. I've seen a lot of people gain 100 points in my program in 45 days. However, the average since 2009 has been roughly 100 points in 90 to 180 days. Now, to be 100% honest, it's the combination of disputing, credit building, budgeting, focus, and accountability that makes the score jump that quickly. This is math, not magic. It's very similar to fitness. If you work out and eat right, you will get results quickly. If you follow proven disputing procedures, budgets, build credit, and stay on track, you get results. Will this help me with any negative account? Yes, the new DOI beginning, new D, new, sorry, the new beginning DIY program has over 100 disputed letters and templates for challenging any negative items on your credit. Late payments, inquiries, repos, evictions, foreclosures, charge-offs, collections, tax liens, judgments, you name it, there's a process and a letter for it. Does disputing items on your credit hurt it even more? Disputing items on your credit report will not make your credit score worse. If it's on your credit report already, it's already negatively impacting you. Challenging items does not reset how long it will remain on your credit report either. I covered this in a bit more details within the education section of how to fix your credit score. I just want to clean my credit. What if I don't want the other courses? No problem. Only take the course that applies to your situation. However, I wanted to give you everything you needed to win financially. After you improve your credit, maybe you want to buy a house. I want to educate you on everything you need to make that happen. Maybe you want to buy a car. I wanted to educate you on the best way to do that. Maybe you want to start a business and build business credit. I wanted to educate you on everything you need to make that happen. My goal is to not only help you improve your credit, but to help you improve your life. However, the price to take one course is the same as to have them all. Is this an MLM? This is not an MLM. I am not associated with any multi-level marketing company. I have never been a part of one and will not recruit you to be in the MLM. This is simply the best and probably the only financial education you will need about credit. Improvement for the best price possible. Can this help me if I have a lot of student debt? Yes, everyone has student loan debt. You can still improve your credit with the process and procedures that I will show you with a lot of student loan debt. The budget and business course will help you as well. The budget course will show you how to pay them, and the business course will hopefully help you think of some ways to make more money to pay them off faster. Will this show me how to get credit even with no or low scores? Yes, the How to Fix Your Credit course has an entire section and bonus section dedicated to building credit. I show you the best way to improve your score if you have 0 to 640 and even 640 and above. If I pay off or settle negative accounts on my credit report, will my credit score improve? Unfortunately, paying a collection or charge off doesn't make your credit score improve. You will just satisfy your legal obligation to pay the debt if you had one in the first place. There are only a few scenarios where it makes sense to just pay off the collections or charge offs. I break those instances down in the academy as well. However, say you did pay off those items already because you thought it would help your score. Following procedures in the academy gives you a chance of having them removed much earlier than the 7 years plus 180 days. Also, the lessons on building credit will speed up the credit improvement process as well. Do you need to have money to have good or excellent credit? No, there are people who are doctors, lawyers, athletes, and businessmen and women who make a lot of money a year who have horrible credit. I know because I know a few. Then you have someone who may have 2 or 3 jobs with excellent credit. Your income, age, location, sex, or job has nothing to do with credit scoring. What will get you an amazing score is following a proven system, having goals, and having financial discipline and accountability when things get tough. That's what I'm offering you with the new beginning DIY program. What are the best ways to build credit? The best way to improve your credit if you had a trouble past of no credit at all or is VI revolving credit. I do not have a complete list of things you can do in the program. However, since you made it this far into the class, everyone who stays to the end will receive an email with 2 or 3 credit boosting methods. I even include a credit card that reports 6 times a month. So you'll get a boost within 14 days of getting it. With that said, getting a revolving credit isn't enough. It's how you use it. Some people think it should be at least 30% of the limit. The reality is you need to only use between 1 and 7% of your limit to get all 165 points. The biggest lie I've heard going around is the 30% rule. I personally only use 1% of my credit utilization. Will this help me remove inquiries from my credit report? It's unfortunate that when you go apply for a car or house, they run your credit a bunch of times. So yes, I have an entire section in our program dedicated to inquiry removals. Will this help me get a repossession off my credit report? Yes. Now, repossessions are a different beast, and I have a special section for how to handle them. You're going to have to deal with the credit bureaus, the auto loan dealer, and specific state requirement. You can't treat repos where it's voluntary, you gave it back, or involuntary, they took it, the same as you do a late payment or collection. How can you stop a negative item from coming back after removing it? This is why we have credit monitoring. Just like you can't stop someone from drinking and driving or driving like an idiot, you can't stop a collection agency from breaking the law. You also can't stop a collection agency from selling a non-collectible debt to another sucker. You can only prepare for it and respond accordingly. The law states you must be told in writing within 5 days of reinsertion. However, in the DIY program, we have a step-by-step procedure for handling the reappearance of a debt as well. If I file bankruptcy, would this help me? To recover from a bankruptcy, you need to first be 100% honest on why it happened to ensure the behavior is no longer present, unless we're talking about some serious medical debt or something out of your control. But in either case, the how to fix your credit course and perfect budget course will definitely help you boost your score coming out of BK. The other thing that's unfortunate about BK is that you do not qualify for many revolving credits, aka credit cards. The guaranteed approval cards and how to use them will definitely help you. I've seen someone within 1 year of BK increase their score to 700. You need to be ready to change your behavior and work the process. But the DIY program will give you all you need to succeed before, during, and after BK. When a debt is sold to a third party, does that start the 7 year clock all over again? This is a huge misconception. Debt collectors like to pay on your ignorance on the law. There is something called statute of limitation. I covered this in the DIY program in detail, but you have a state statute of limitation and federal statute of limitations. State statute of limitations determines when you can no longer be sued, and it varies depending on state and type of contract. The federal statute of limitations is what credit reporting is based on. It's generally 7.5 years from the date of your last payment and has nothing to do if the debt is transferred or sold to a third party. Just make sure you not make any partial payments and it resets the. Should I buy trade lines to improve my credit? There are tons of companies making a lot of money by selling trade lines, but one thing they don't tell you is that it's temporary. Sometimes it won't help you, and third, you have to give up all your personal information to a stranger, which opens you up to identity theft. Why pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for a temporary boost? I think you should get trade lines, aka accounts in your own name, so you can have full control and maintain the boost. In the DIY program, I teach you how to accomplish that. Finally, is this right for me? Finally, is this right for me? I, you are a do-it-yourself type person and you want to understand how credit works so you can drastically improve your credit score on your own, this is for you. If you want to stop renting and own a home or rental property, this is for you. If you want to obtain assets instead of liabilities, this is for you. If you want to build wealth, save more, and become financially free, this is for you. If you're a person who wants more than what they are getting now, and you're tired of not getting the what you want, deserve, this is for you. In closing, let's recap. Everything you're getting less than $1 a day. You're getting the How to Fix Your Credit course, which is valued at $497. The Credit Success Tools for a value of $4.97. The How to Create the Perfect Budget course with a value of $4.97. The How to Invest in the Stock course for a value of $4.97. The How to Buy a Home the Smart Way course for a value of $4.97. The How to Get a Pay Raise course for a value of $4.97. The How to Start a Business and Obtain Business Credit course for a value of $9.97. The Purpose to Profit Challenge for a value of $2.97. The 52-Week Savings Challenge for a value of $2.97. And the Purpose to Profit on Instagram for a value of $2.97. The Private New Beginning Community for a value of $9.97, and live office hours with instructors for a value of $9.97. This means you're getting $7,361 of value for less than $1 a day. I'm giving you everything that you should have learned about finances in school for the most affordable price possible. I'm giving you the tools and lessons that will empower you to change your family tree and the support you need if you need it 24/7. Then added in bonuses. The 10 Financial Commandments is a $4.97 value. Bonus number 2, which is the fastest way to pay off debt, is a $197 value. And bonus number 3 is your multi-million-dollar generational wealth plan, is a $997 value. That brings the total value of $9,052 in value for less than $1 a day. Now, if you like to enroll, you can simply click the button. It will look like this, and again, it will take you right to the enrollment page. Thank you so much for attending this webinar. I really appreciate it, and I know that you'll have massive success with this program. If you have any other questions, you can simply reply to an email we sent to you. Once again, thank you for attending.